the foot massage. I usually start out by just checking the toes and twisting them a little. There's a lot of different ways to start out on this. And then I'm pushing into the pads and letting the toes have some range of motion. And also stretching the foot this direction. So this is a lateral kind of a stretch. The foot is designed to make a lot of different movements, different directions. I don't know if any of you are familiar with these. They're called toe socks, and they actually have individual places for your toes. Those are very helpful to wear. It kind of separates the toes a little bit. They don't even feel bad to wear. These look weird, but they feel pretty comfortable. There's also shoes that I've seen that are toe shoes, that are not like dancing toe shoes, but the shoes that have each toe, and those really look funny. I've even seen people in Austin running around running in running toe shoes, and that looks like they're running barefoot. So it is good for the foot if you have some kind of foot problem that you feel like you need to stretch those toes. I would recommend looking into that kind of a foot device. And now I'm applying some oil on the foot. And starting with the little toe, I'm going to pull this up and just rotate a little bit here. And stretch it a little and then draw this up. Just rubbing again the thumb along the ligament and in between the bones. And then the next toe, you can twist around a little. You can actually feel both joints. You can articulate both joints and the joint a little farther down. It's always good to do a little joint articulation in the toes. Unless a person runs barefoot a lot and is on smooth land, rough ground, the toes really aren't getting a lot of range of motion. So it's good to apply that if you're working on someone's feet, to rotate it around and give them some movement. And stretch them out a little bit. Okay. And then going between, if you're going on top of the ligament, then you want to be a little gentler because there's quite bony surfaces there, but between the bones, you still go gentle, but it's a little bit more pressure going between them there. And we'll continue to articulate each joint of the toe. Stretch it out a little bit, touching the toes, and then you can get between the big toe, stretching them out, and rotating each joint down to this bigger joint. I think range of motion and moving and stretching is also a really important part of body work. And studies are showing now that free flow movement, when you're just moving very free, not in a choreographed type way, that it helps actually hold back on certain conditions where our memories are getting short or we're losing our memory. That kind of movement keeps the brain active with ipsi and contralateral movement. And here I'm rotating along the arch of the foot. walking the foot that way, and then across the soft part in the arch area. I'm not so much on the pads of the feet right now. I'm working more into that arch area. Okay, and then we can give a little traction here and pulling the foot down. And okay. And then we'll go to foot number 2. A little bit of oil, not a whole lot of oil. The feet will tend to absorb it sometimes faster than the rest of the body, because the bottoms of the feet are oftentimes a little drier with all the padding. So we can start out here, pulling a little bit, stretching, doing a lateral stretching here. And then starting up with the toes, articulating the joint. Taking little articulations. These toes are hinge joints, so they move like a door. So you don't want to yank them from side to side, but there is a little rotative action that you can do with it. Just want to pay attention to what you're doing. Remember that somebody is feeling what you're doing. If you're not sure, you can always check in with them. I used to tell my people that I would work that if anything comes up that's a negative kind of pain pattern, in other words, it hurts so bad, to tell me, because we don't want that kind of a pain pattern. But sometimes when things feel intense, it's like a hurt so good. That kind of a pain sensation isn't as critical to stop working into, but it's a good idea to keep checking in with the person on the table or floor to anything that might, be uncomfortable, or if the intensity is just more than they feel is comfortable, because we don't want to take anything into a destructive pattern or a pattern where we're going to cause injury. So if pain in a negative way does come up, just get out of the way and don't pursue it. That's my recommendation. And I'm sure that there are modalities where that kind of pain is warranted, and that's fine, but be sure that you know what you're doing if you're going into pain. And all these are just little cautionary things to pay attention to, because if you're in practice, it's those things that'll make the difference for you. When you pay attention to what the person needs and not so involved in just doing the technique. It's a very fine balance that you want to find. So do this, ankle a little bit, rotating. And stretching. Okay, that's kind of basic. And then you can also go between the toes with your fingers and just give a little stretch that way. Kind of feels nice. And pull, give a little traction as well. And rotate. And there we go. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. And I think there's a little bell up there that you can hit that you'll get a notification every time we post. So if you want to, you can hit that too. But thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it.